Good morning and happy Wednesday. I am so excited to be sharing with you ways that I find time to listen to podcasts and periscopes. This is a question that I get asked a lot, and I had so much fun putting together all my ideas, so I'm excited to share with you and to hear your ideas as well. So I know that I'm running late, and my goal for this week is to work on timeliness, but I have an event that I'm speaking at in town right after, and so I had to eat breakfast this morning and get all ready and get all my stuff together, and I was just like, you know what, it's okay. I'm gonna be running late, and that is okay because that's life sometimes. So anyway, but I'm gonna keep working on that. So good job, Mackenzie, doing your makeup while you watch. Way to multitask and do what we're going to be talking about today. So, good morning, everyone. So glad to have you here. I have an apology to make to Fitabulous Mom. Yesterday, I was talking about her and talking about her Instagram, and I said Fit Fabulous Mom, and there's no fabulous, it's Fitabulous Mom. And so I wanted to apologize for saying that incorrectly. For those of you who tried to check out her site and you got it incorrect, that is the right one. So she can maybe leave her link, or I saw that she was here, so maybe she can give us a shout out. So I'm running late, Brian, okay? It's all your fault. Brian's coming to pick me up. And so I told him that he said he was gonna come to the, he's my manager, by the way, and he goes with me to speaking events, but he was gonna come and sit outside the door, and I said if he comes and sits outside the door that he was going to be interviewed. So that's your threat, Brian. Don't come and sit outside the door. That will make me nervous. Okay, oh, Silas wanted to say hello. Silas he wanted to say hello, and do you want to tell them what you did last night in the baseball game?
I made an amazing catch.
You made an amazing catch. Oh, we're still working on humility, but proud mama moment. He got 3 outs in 1 inning all by himself, and he caught a ball that was what kind of pitch or whatever, what kind of hit was it?
It was like a hit. It was like a line drive like to first base.
A line drive to first base, and he caught it. So we're very proud of you. Good
It was
job.
over my head.
Over your head, and you jumped up and caught it. So anyway, he was pretty excited about that. Okay, so if you are new here, my name is Crystal Payne, and I am the founder of MoneySavingMom.com, as well as the New York Times best-selling author of the book Say Goodbye to Survival Mode, and I'm also the creator of the 14-day online course called Make Over Your Mornings, and that's at makeoveryourmornings.com. If you need some help with getting your mornings in order, please go to makeoveryourmornings.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and you can fill in your name and email address, and we'll send you day 1 for free. I also wanted to tell you that I chose our next book club book. This was based upon, I had given you 5 different books to choose from, and this was number 2 of all the choices. So this is Brene Brown's book. That's what we will be going through next week, Rising Strong. I have read all 3 of Brene's other books, been very challenged, very convicted, very inspired, and changed personally as a person through a book. So I'm very excited to read Rising Strong. So that will be next week. We will start that on Monday. So if you would like to join us, you can pick up a copy of this book. Maybe your library has it, or see if someone else you know has it, or you can order a copy. So this is Rising Strong, and we will be starting that on Monday. And one more announcement, and that is that this afternoon at around 3 p.m. I'm going to be doing a Money Making Mom Scope, and this afternoon we're going to be talking about how to find personal work-life balance. How to find personal work-life balance. So if you are struggling with that, I'm going to share some tactics that I have learned and some things that have helped me, some struggles that I've had, because as you know, in my scopes, I am not telling you that I've got it all together. If you want proof of that, go watch yesterday's scope, the Money Making Mom scope that I did yesterday on blogging. It was a very squirrely scope, Mackenzie. I did a squirrely scope yesterday and it was kind of all over the place, but it was fun, and I think that it gives you a really great idea of the fact that I don't have all my ducks in a row, and I think that's important for you to know. So we will start Rising Strong next week, this afternoon at 3 p.m. We will be doing a Money Making Mom scope on how to find personal work-life balance. And now I wanted to give you some tips and some ideas on how to find time to watch scopes and listen to podcasts. Now, if you're here, obviously you're finding time, but maybe you're saying, I want to watch more scopes, but I feel like it's eating into time that I should be doing other things. So I want to give you a couple of things first off, and that is one, I really encourage you to only subscribe to your favorites. You're running now and listening, Tabitha. Way to go. I love that. So only subscribe to your favorites. And the reason is I think that there's so many things out there. There's so much great information, but you can't consume it all. And if you subscribe to just literally dozens and dozens and dozens of either podcasts or periscopes, you're going to feel information overload. And so I told you my 4 favorites this week of my 4 favorite scopes and my 4 favorite podcasts. And there are a few other people I follow. If you look on who I follow, I think I follow 15 people right now. Some of them don't scope. Some of them I'm hoping they will start scoping. But others of them, they don't scope regularly. So the 4 that I share are the ones who really scope very regularly. But I don't subscribe to very many people, and it's not because I don't like someone, it's not because I don't find their information helpful, it's just because you cannot follow everyone. You cannot even follow dozens and dozens of people because you will be overloaded with information. So number 1, only subscribe to your favorites. And number 2, only listen to topics that interest you. Do not feel obligated to listen to every podcast or watch every scope from someone just because you love them. If it's not a topic that interests you, just skip it. It's okay. I'm giving you that permission to just skip. Have zero obligation, because as I mentioned yesterday, when I am listening to Chalene Johnson's podcast, I love her podcast, but many of the podcast topics are things I don't want to learn about. Now, it's not because I don't want to learn, it's because I don't need to add a whole bunch of to-dos to my list. I have enough to do right now. So there are a few areas that I'm learning and growing in and experimenting with right now. One of them is my email list, one of them is working on launching a book, and one of them is Periscope. So I want to learn in those areas, but I don't need to be adding a whole bunch of information about other things that aren't the areas that I'm learning right now. So only listen to those scopes and podcasts that are really going to feed your soul and give you information that you need right now for where you are. So how do I find time? Okay, here are just a bunch of ideas. Number 1, or I'm not going to number these because there's a lot of them. Listen while you're getting ready in the morning. I usually listen to something while I'm getting ready in the morning. Now, some mornings it's just music. Some mornings I listen to quiet in the sense of that I need to pray and it just needs to be quiet. But you can listen while you're getting ready in the morning, while you're doing your makeup and doing your hair. Listen. While working out, someone said that they were listening while running. Listen while you're working out. That's a great time to be able to multitask. And I find that when I am exercising, my brain seems to come alive. And that's a great time to be pouring interesting things into it that will stimulate it to help you be a better person. Listen while cleaning. I have started loving cleaning more because I get to listen to podcasts and watch scopes while I'm cleaning. Mackenzie Monroe, Bold Turquoise, her scope is usually accompanying my breakfast cleanup because that's when she scopes. And so I am cleaning up my kitchen and watching her scope, and it's so much fun to do that. It makes cleaning up the kitchen so much more enjoyable. While doing simple tasks online. So part of my job as an online entrepreneur is that I am sometimes doing tasks that don't require a lot of brain space, but they have to be done. Now, honestly, I'm working hard on delegating this so that I'm not doing a lot of those tasks, but I still do them. And in the past, I've done a lot more of them. So for instance, if I'm scheduling pins on Pinterest, if I'm scheduling posts on Facebook, if I'm editing graphics, if I'm editing photos, those are times when I don't need to have my brain engaged. It's just stuff that I just do. It's like brushing my teeth or eating or something. You don't think about how do you put the fork in your mouth. I don't think about how am I pinning. I just do it. So those types of tasks, I can listen to something while I'm doing those tasks. While driving, please do not scope and drive. You know, actually you doing the video, please do not scope and drive. But you can listen to scopes while you drive. Don't watch them, but I will just sit my phone in the seat next to me and I'll turn it on and I can listen while I'm driving. And that's a great time to be able to catch up on scopes. While doing handwork, I love to do adult coloring books. I love to knit. I love to embroider. Those are great times to be listening to something. Brian, he says he listens while sitting in the driveway of Crystal's house to head to the event. Yeah, I'm going to call you in here to interview you if you just stop, if you keep being snarky. And while going to sleep. So this is one of those ones that's a little bit iffy because I feel like sometimes it's just good for you to go to sleep quietly and to not be stimulating your mind. But other times, if I'm having trouble going to sleep, maybe my mind is thinking about all of these different things that I need to be doing or ideas, I will listen to a scope or a podcast that's something that isn't going to stimulate me, but it's something that's going to relax me or just help me to shut my brain off and go to sleep. What podcast do I listen to? If you go to catch.me/MoneySavingMom, so katch.me/MoneySavingMom, you can, there's a replay there of my 4 favorite podcasts that I did earlier this week. And I also have a replay there of my 4 favorite scopers. So that's at catch.me/MoneySavingMom. So what about you? Those are some ideas just for me personally that how I am fitting in podcasts and periscopes and listening to those throughout the day. I could have listed off a whole bunch more ideas, but I wanted to focus only on ones that I actually have done or am doing right now. I'd love to hear from you. When do you find the time? When do you multitask? How do you do it? What works for you? Share in the comments. Let us know. Because, folding laundry, that is a good one. And if you saw on my Instagram yesterday, I'm the Money Saving Mom on Instagram. I posted my massive laundry pile and said that I am currently in the running for grand prize in the contest of largest laundry pile. And then yesterday it was funny because multiple people tagged me and showed me that they thought that they were actually winning that contest. So yes, the laundry mountain. So what about you? Tell us when you do it. And I just want to remind you though that we don't always need to be filling our mind up with information. Quiet is good. Quiet is good. So don't always be filling up your mind with information. Take time to be quiet, to be still, and don't feel like you have to, if there's quiet, always fill it. So have a good balance between quiet and filling your mind up with good things. All right, so that's what I want to share with you today about that. And I also wanted to read a quote from our current book club book, I Used to Be So Organized by Glynis Whitworth. And we are in section 3 today. And I loved this section where it talks about deleting things from your life. And she said when to delete a responsibility. Here are 5 different suggestions as to when you would know when to delete a responsibility. When you know you aren't called to it, when your capacity to love those closest to you is diminished, when unkind thoughts fill your heart, when the joy you used to feel is replaced by resentment, and when it's holding you back from pursuing God's new call on your life. So those are some things to think about if you need to delete a responsibility. Does it fall underneath those? I also love these 2 tips. She has some tips for simplifying your schedule, and she said schedule less than you think you can do every day. I am such a positive driver personality that so much of the time I think I can do a lot more than I actually can do in a day. And I have this idealistic sort of, oh yes, I can do it. And things always take longer than we expect. So she says, schedule less than you think you can do every day. Schedule less than you think you can do every day. So that is from the book, I Used to Be So Organized by Glennis Whitwer. And I will have section 3, some more thoughts up on my blog, MoneySavingMom.com today. If you want to read that and join in with, if you're reading this book with us, you can head over there later today. My post will probably be up around, I'm thinking 1 p.m. Central Time today because I'm speaking this morning. But so if you want to join in and share with us your thoughts on the book if you're reading it with us. And so don't forget, next week we will start Rising Strong by Brene Brown. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. And I will see you back here at 3 p.m. this afternoon for our Money Making Mom Scope on how to find personal and work-life balance. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to go to MoneyMakingMomBook.com, MoneyMakingMomBook.com, where you can read all about my new book, Money Making Mom, and sign up for my free 5-day course on how I make a full-time income from home. So thank you for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you at 3 p.m.